All right, traders, the SPY absolutely got crushed at market open, having a massive gap down. Then it bottomed at that key level that we discussed in yesterday's video, that 372, 373 support level, and exploded back up to now fill the gap green in after hours. So the question is this going to be a bull or bear trap now that we are back at that key critical make it or break it level, the new high end of this channel? This video is going to give you a better understanding on where we are heading moving forward, and I am planning to finish this week as strong as I possibly can. Tomorrow is going to be an extremely lucrative trading day because we had an overreaction today, and we are now back at the high end of the micro channel. There's going to be a huge one-sided move tomorrow, and this is going to show you how to determine if it's going to be a bullish or bearish move and how to capitalize off of that reaction, right? So make sure you stay to the end of this video. Tomorrow is truly going to be a game-changing day for the market. We are at a key critical make it or break it level, and this is going to show you how to identify if it's going to be a micro, bull, or bear trap. We're also going to be going over the best setups to be trading at the best prices, not just the SPY, but also Roblox, Alibaba, SGen, LI, Meristock, Twitter, VERU, C, Uber, BAC, CVNA, NVDA, Coin. So many great setups. Let's get straight into it. Make sure you smash that like button. So in terms of the trading today, I just traded the market open in terms of my trading today. And I did puts it open. I did puts it open on Tesla and on Roblox. The reason why I did Roblox put at towards open right here on these spikes when it was at $38 towards a $37 strike. The reason why I was doing that is because Roblox filled the gap, and once it filled the gap, it had a gap close reversal. It was showing signs of weakness. So I did play puts at market open, and I got out right around 9:50 to 10 a.m. during that time frame. As you can see, Roblox gapped up. It filled this gap. Once it filled the gap at 38.22, I was looking at the 5-minute chart. I noticed all the wicks. I noticed all the wicks. I noticed the bearish wicks. I noticed all the resistance coming in. That was my confirmation to play the gap close reversal on Roblox to ride it back down to fill the gap below. I alerted that one along with my Tesla trade in the SPX in the SPY chat. I ended up playing some Tesla puts as well. And in terms of Tesla, I grabbed these as soon as the market opened. As soon as the market opened, this looks bearish. If you watched my video yesterday, I said if it goes under $700 and reacts as a resistance, which it did right here in the 5-minute, I'm going to scalp puts, and it quickly sold off to 688. And I literally got out towards the bottom. I scalped puts twice on this, banked very nicely. And then from there, I just called it. I hit my goal, well above my goal, up 5.13, a little bit over 5% return on the portfolio. Within the first 5 minutes of market open, I hit my, I well exceeded my goal. And then from there, I just stayed on the sidelines. I got out of puts very, very quickly because like I discussed, I told you guys in yesterday's video, if SPY gaps down, what has been happening is it has a quick morning panic and it usually bottoms at 9:50 to 10 a.m. And, you know, that's when I literally started exiting my puts from these scalps. And as you can see, it literally bottomed at 10:05, 10:15 a.m. and then exploded back up to fill the gap. No surprise. This is an overreaction. Are you guys seeing this pattern? We pointed this out several times in just this week's video alone, where when the SPY gaps down from the 380s to 379, 378 range, and it sells off quickly, morning panic from the gap down, right? It tends to have a reversal at around 10 a.m. And the key level to look for that reversal is when this level, 372.50, reacts to support, SPY breaks out to fill the gap. Reacts to support, SPY breaks out to fill the gap. Reacts to support, SPY breaks out to fill the gap. Reacts to support, SPY breaks out to fill the gap, right? So there was that classic gap fill strategy where you're waiting to, where you're waiting for SPY to have an overreaction where it gaps down, has a morning panic, and then at around 10 a.m., you look for those support levels. Even if it cracked, you wait for that support right here to turn into actual support and start breaking out. Then you can look to scalp calls. I have been doing that. Last week, I was doing that a lot. This week, I haven't been doing that much. I've just been doing puts towards open for a quick scalp. Tesla was like a 15% return. Roblox was a little bit over a 20% return. Just very in and out. But in terms of the strategy and in terms of what I teach, in terms of price action analysis, 100% on point. And I give you guys the right information and I share with you guys the value, right? That doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to do that, but I was aware of what can happen. That's why I exited my puts so quickly for a scalp. And I hit my daily goal and I called it from there. I didn't like the price action at the time. I didn't like how things were looking. So I just stayed away and waited from the sidelines. And then I clearly stated within the chat after I exited my puts, The best level from here is going to be 378.83. That's where I'm going to be interested in playing puts on the SPY from here when I exited my puts at 9:50 to 10 a.m. in the SPY SPX chat, right? So very quick in and out scalps for nice profits, 5% return on the day. Big shout out to members within Trader Society. Philip, nice job, man. 100% nice job. Look at this. 20% return. Very nicely done. $700 profit. Back at it again. Back to back $300 profit days. Very nicely done. You made the cost of Trader Society within that one trade on SPX. Alibaba, nicely done. 159% return on GOEV. So yeah, you guys are absolutely killing it, man. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. So with that being said, in terms of the SPY and where we're heading from here, this is what I want you to understand. This is key. This 378.83 level, 378.83, there's going to be a gap to fill at 378.83. If this reacts as a resistance level, so I'm going to give you two levels. If this reacts as a resistance, if it starts breaking down, starts forming lower highs, looks bearish, it forms the bearish wicks that we talk about all the time. Those are my favorite confirmations, the wicks, the candlesticks, right? That's what I used on the Roblox to determine that it was going to go from green to red on the day when this was at 38. I was buying puts, playing for the gap to fill. Once the gap fills, that's when you exit because it can have a gap close reversal like it did. It had back-to-back gap close reversals. Filled the gap here, had a reversal, filled the gap here, had a reversal. Could have played it both ways. So with the SPY, this is the new zone. These are the new levels. I'm going to give you two levels. Remember, if these react as resistance levels, they're breaking down, they're forming lower highs, it's going to be a micro bear trap. So I'm going to give you the two levels. First level, $379. We're going to call it 379. 379 right here. This is going to be our first level. What's our second level? Where the SPY closed at? 377.91. Those are our two levels in terms of what is SPY doing right now. So I want you to think of that zone. That's our make it or break it zone for tomorrow, for trading tomorrow. What is the SPY doing right now? So in terms of what the SPY is doing right now, you can visually see we are moving up a little bit. This closed at 377.91. It's at 379.30. So it is currently gapping up. So it is trying to flip to micro bullish. Now, in order for the bulls to take control, in order for this to be a bear trap where the bulls take control and they step out of this channel, we've been in this new channel for 2 days now where SPY's been topping at 380 to 379, and then it's been going back to 373 to 371, right? In order for the bulls to take control, this is what we're truly going to have to see for tomorrow. To see a crazy bear trap where the bulls take completely control, this is what we're going to have to see. This is going to be the key level for that. $379. If 379 breaks out, turns into support, we are likely going to see a bear trap where the bulls are really stepping in control. And this can happen as soon as next week. If they do turn that into a support level, we could see a gap fill play heading into next week at $388.67. There's a good chance that can happen if the SPY closes above 380 tomorrow. There's a good chance we can rip to 388.67, which would be the best price to scalp puts for next week, heading into the next week, if this 380s turns into support. Now, for us to go super bearish, right? I've seen this happen all the time, especially on Fridays. So for those of you who stay to the end of these videos, you really do get rewarded with the best information. Right now, SPY is gapping up. I've seen this happen several times where when the SPY gaps up, if it fills the gap, meaning it goes back down to the previous closing price, which will be 377.91, and it goes green to red, it'll typically get crushed. It'll typically be a big red day and a bull trap. So what I'm telling you is, if you want to play puts tomorrow, I would say the smartest, the best way to really play it is to wait for the green to red move. And if it doesn't happen, then I would avoid puts. I wouldn't even play puts. So if you see the SPY go under 377.91 tomorrow, I would play puts. If you see this crack that 378 level, it's looking bearish, it's forming resistance, I would play puts, and it's likely going to be a great scalping opportunity for another quick micro bull trap. So again, bear thesis is to be bearish tomorrow. This is my opinion. In order to be bearish tomorrow, it has to crack 378. If it cracks 378, I think it's fine to scalp puts. That would be my plan for puts. So instead of trying to get 100% of the best price, I would kind of wait for more of a key breakdown because it is at such a good level, right? So the weakness zone is going to be 379 to 377.91. Now, in terms of call talk, If we push above 379.50, bulls are going to take control. It's going to explode. It's going to start to fill that gap at 388 heading into next week. So that's where we're at. We're at make it or break it. And in my opinion, the SPY will continue to go up for the short term if it does not go under 378. If it does not go under 378, I think it's going to be a micro bear trap. If we flip green to red tomorrow, micro bull trap, and it gets crushed. So that's my opinion. So basically, in order for me to play puts tomorrow, it has to crack 378. That's what it has to do for me to really step in and want to have that desire to play puts tomorrow. So I want you to understand we are now back at this make it or break it zone where SPY pushed back up and it filled the gap. And you can see right here, it's trying to push up. It's trying to push up. Same candlesticks trying to push up. And then it finally breaks out. So like I said, if you see 379.50, this level right here, react to support, starts pushing above 379.50, SPY is super bullish and can push to 383 to 385 tomorrow. It can. Look at what happened here. This is what I want to bring awareness to. On this day, look at what happened. The bottom was at 379.60. It exploded up to 386, and then it continued into next week. The same thing will likely occur if we hold above 378. If we hold above 378 and push above that 379.50, same thing is likely going to occur into Friday and into next week. Now, if we crack 378, play the puts. It's as simple as that. This is a very simple game. If you want to buy puts, wait for the green to red move. If you want to buy calls, look for bullish confirmations at that 379.50 level. If it breaks out, forms bullish wicks, forming support, starting to run, look to play calls there. Max risk on these is going to be like 378. So my entry, whether it's calls or puts, is nearly my risk. I'm not risking a lot at all because it's a make it or break it key level. If I'm on the wrong side, I cut it quickly. I switch sides, I'm adapt. If I'm on the wrong side, I cut it and don't do anything sometimes. Sometimes I don't switch sides. Sometimes I just sit on the sidelines, just watch it, miss out, and anticipate for the next best setup, right? So we'll see. But you have to understand, we're trading at a make it or break it level. And if you hold on the wrong side of the move, you will experience a big percentage loss. Just because you have a big percentage loss doesn't mean it's a big dollar loss. It depends on how much you put into the option contracts. But you don't want to experience a big percentage loss, whether you put in a lot or put in a little. You don't want to make that a habit, right? So you got to be on the right side of the trade. And you don't have to hold it very long. You can get in and get out, take your profits, and call it a day. That's what I like to do. I don't like to hold very, very long. If I'm super bullish on calls right around here, I'm not holding for the gap to fill. I'm making a quick 20 to 50% usually on a 1 to 2 point move, and then I'm just calling it from there. That's typically what I'm doing. I don't like holding option contracts for very, very long. That's something that I don't personally do. I like to scalp. My average holding time is typically like 10, 15 minutes. In and out, 20 to 50% returns. If it's a same day expiration, it can be like 50 to 70% within 10 minutes. So that's the game plan for SPY, guys. I gave you the analysis. I'm telling you, tomorrow should be a fairly easy day. But in terms of the plan that I gave you guys in yesterday's video, absolutely phenomenal. SPY literally did exactly what we were anticipating, where if it does gap down and it hits that key support level, we're going to anticipate a gap fill play. Unfortunately, I didn't play calls, but I put people in the right position, in the right position, the right mindset to succeed with the analysis. That's the point. I don't have to play calls. I just have to lead people in the right direction and try my best to trade at my best. And like I said, I hit my daily goal with the puts, and I didn't like the price action at the time, so I just stayed away. Completely fine with that. With that being said, let's go over the top stocks to be trading now. So in terms of the top stocks to be trading right now, Roblox had the gap close reversal. I played puts on that in the morning when it was at 38, wrote it back down for the gap to fill, and then I got out. This one, I'm on the sidelines right now. I don't like the daily chart, so I'm just going to stay on the sidelines right now. It's a little weird for me right now. It's trying to go bearish, but the market's trying to go bullish. In terms of how does the chart look, it looks bearish. This does not look bullish. It filled the gap. It had a reversal. It closed lower, and it's trying to turn this support right here into resistance, literally where it closed at, right? For this to go bullish, it has to break above 38. If it can't break above 38, it's going to crack 37s and really start to get ugly and be on track for that gap fill 32.86 by the end of July. As of now, the chart does look a little bearish. And like I said, best price for puts, 41.25. Alibaba. Alibaba's looking pretty bullish. Right now, we're looking kind of bullish on Alibaba here. What I'm seeing is a gap down, a downtrend. It forms this red bearish candlestick, but it has this wick right? I'm seeing that same pattern. It gaps down, downtrends. It forms this red bearish wick. It's at a gap close reversal level. It's at a gap close reversal level. It's bottomed out those key gap close reversal levels. Alibaba's looking bullish right now. It looks like for the micro, it wants to go up. So what I can recommend on this one is if Alibaba stock is green tomorrow, I think calls are going to be a good play. So for this one, if you see it break out above $104, you see it push above 104 tomorrow, I would look to play calls and I would set a max risk on those calls at 103. I would not risk more than 103. If 103 cracks, it gets very ugly. So look for the breakout on Alibaba tomorrow above 104. If it's green, it's bullish, right? So look for that, right? And the max risk is 103. It has to be green. It has to be bullish. Do not want to buy calls on this if it's red tomorrow. But what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a potential upcoming green day for tomorrow. But like I said, it has to be green, right? So if it's green and it pushes above 104, I would look to scalp some calls fairly quickly. If it's red, I would just stay away from it. I wouldn't do anything with Alibaba if it's red tomorrow. So that's one setup that I would look for. Get in, get out very, very quickly, make a nice return. SGen, I'm watching some leap put options on this one. We triggered dark blue on the squeeze. We're consolidating. We're sitting at the highs. We're forming lower highs. We're forming these bearish wicks, these bearish candlesticks. It's starting to look bearish. It's starting to look like it wants to pull back in time to fill this gap at 165. So in terms of my next leap put option trade, I am going to consider SGen. This one, I'm waiting for an entry. It's looking pretty bearish. If you give yourself 30 to 60 days, I think that's more than enough time and stay at the money. That's a passive income leap option put play that is on my radar. We are at key resistance. It's filled the gap right here. It looks super bearish. My target for that one overall within like 3 to 4 weeks would be 165. Now, our next play, LI. LI is looking similar to Roblox right now, kind of bearish. It needs to stay under 38.90 to remain bearish. MARA, this is looking fairly bullish. Like in terms of daily charts right now, on certain stocks, they're looking very bullish. I'm seeing a lot of bullish one-day candlesticks coming in for the micro. MARA is one of them. It is looking fairly bullish here because it managed to turn this previous resistance that had big downside potential into support after it had its pullback from the breakout. That's fairly bullish. And there is a gap to fill at 851. So I could see this shooting up to 851, and that's where I would look to potentially scalp a put. But overall, MARA looks bullish. A squeeze has been triggered as well. I think we're going to push up to 851 on that. What will send it is if it breaks above 8. It breaks and holds above 8. We're going to push to 850 on that. Keep an eye on MARA for that bullish move up. It needs to break, hold above 8. Twitter's looking kind of bearish here. You know, it cracks some key support, massive gap down towards 52-week lows, pushed back up, filled the gap 2 days in a row, reacting as a resistance, right? See how that gap fill level is at that previous support, now reacting as a resistance. That's bearish. That means it's trying to have a gap close reversal to then go back down to fill this gap at 3406. Twitter overall is looking bearish. If we can stay under 30, what is this? If we can stay under, this 3650, 3680 level, overall within some time, we're going to push back down to 34. If you have puts on this, the max risk is going to be 37. If it breaks above 37, it goes bullish to fill this gap at 3880. Right now, it's topped out 2 days towards the previous support, towards the gap close reversal levels with a bearish candlestick right here. Overall, it's looking kind of bearish. So that's the key make it or break it zone for Twitter. VERU. It looks like we're due for a pullback. We're getting a little interesting here. This one's a tough one to trade, but it does look like we're, due for a pullback. In a sense, it isn't following the SPY too well. So this is going to be an interesting one to keep on my radar. You could see right here the best resistance levels are going to be at 1630, 1640. The true best ones at 1750. So I'm keeping an eye on this, man. We're sitting at this heavy resistance here in the mid 16s for 2 days. It's forming lower highs at the previous closing price. If we can crack this 1530 tomorrow, crack 15 tomorrow, it gets ugly if we can crack that. I'm going to keep an eye on VERU. We're sitting towards some key resistance. We just formed a red candlestick. It looks like it wants to have a nice little morning panic for a quick scalp. Overall bearish on that for the micro. CITI. Looking a little bullish here, We got that similar candlestick that Alibaba had. This is at key support. It's due for a spike. It's due for a move up to fill the gap. Overall, it's looking kind of bullish. Right now we're at 44.14. You could see there was a gap to fill a key support at 42.71, right? So overall, we're due for some upside on C. It's looking a little bullish. I'm going to keep this one on my radar. For this to go bullish, this is what it has to do. It has to break above this. We break above 44.15, it starts to go bullish and pushes up to fill the gap. That's the key make it or break it level for C tomorrow. 44.15. Under, it starts to sell off. Above, it starts to push up. Uber, same thing. Uber's at a very interesting level right now. A nice key whole round $20 number. This one is looking fairly interesting, man. A fairly interesting setup right here, trying to go bearish, and it's trying to hit those new 52-week lows. It's not looking the most bullish right now. Uber's looking fairly bearish right here. So this is what I want you to keep an eye on heading into tomorrow. If it reacts right here, we're going to call it 2085. Below 2085 reacts as a resistance, it gets crushed. Push above 2085 reacts as support, it explodes up to fill the gap. Keep an eye on these make it or break it levels for Uber. It's going to be very interesting to see how they react. Reacts as resistance, play the puts. Reacts as support, play the calls. BACA, same situation. We're at a key overall support level. Judging by the candlestick, it looks like it wants to shoot back up to fill the gap. That's how a lot of these are kind of looking right now. In terms of the overall setup with BAC, very, very good setup. This is one of my favorites. I saved the best ones till the end. There's a gap to fill at 29.96. So there's a gap to fill right here on BAC. As you can see, it filled the gap, right? So we filled the gap and it's been trying to turn it into support. What's going to send this to have a really strong, nice uptrend tomorrow is going to be this. If you see it push above this, we'll call it 30, 30. You see it push above 30, 25, 30, 30 tomorrow, it goes green. It's going to be bullish to then explode up to fill the gap. If we go under $30 a share, it goes bearish and it really starts to sell off to break those 5-week lows. Keep an eye on BAC. See how a lot of these are at make it or break it levels at key support, right? But in terms of the SPY is at a make it or break it level at previous support, at key resistance. You see the difference on that? So it's going to be very interesting to see how we react. With that being said, you could see a lot of stocks didn't have that strong move up today, like SPY did. So it could be a delayed reaction where the stocks have the strong move tomorrow. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how they react. But I want to bring awareness to that, so you understand heading into tomorrow. CVNA. We're at key heavy support on this one. Very interesting setup here. It's make it or break it, man. We are truly at make it or break it. I'm gonna keep an eye and see how it reacts tomorrow. Don't have too much to say for this one at the moment. For this to really go bullish, we need to push above this 2080. We push above 2080, it goes bullish. If not, we go bearish. That's going to be the key level for CNVA. So see, a lot of these are at make it or break it support levels right now. SPY's at a make it or break it previous support level that's reacted as resistance yesterday. NVIDIA is looking very interesting here. We are kind of looking bullish here on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is looking fairly bullish here. With that being said, I want you to keep an eye on this one. We're at key support, key gap fill level, very similar setup to that BAC, basically the same setup. Bullish candlesticks on daily. It looks like MARA as well, where it's breaking above this strong support. What's going to send NVIDIA if we push above 154? We push above 154, 154.50. It's going to start to break out and explode up to fill the gap at 158. Keep an eye on NVIDIA. It's looking really bullish right now, running in after hours. So we'll see heading into tomorrow. I'm telling you, if you see these previous closing prices reacting as support, you see these stocks going green tomorrow, they're really going to continue to go up. But if they go green to red, that's when you buy the puts. When they go green to red tomorrow. Right now they're gapping up. So remember that. I would only consider puts if they go green to red tomorrow. That's key information. coin stock. Looking fairly similar to MARA, looking fairly similar to NVIDIA. So there you go. So those are the top stocks on my radar. It looks like coin's trying to explode back up to fill this next gap at $60, like it previously did right around here when it was had this key support, and it is forming higher support. So coin looks overall bullish as well. So for some stocks like NVIDIA, coin, Mara, some stocks right now, Baba, like a lot of them are looking like within some time heading into Friday into next week, they want to explode up to fill the gap. They want to go a little micro bullish. In terms of the SPY has to go red tomorrow to play the puts. If it cannot go red, there's going to be no put opportunities unless it somehow rips all the way to $388.67 tomorrow. Anything's possible within this market. But what I'm telling you is, in order for me to play puts on SPY tomorrow, I mean, we're at such a nice resistance level, such towards the high end of the channel with an overreaction, right? For me to personally play puts tomorrow, it has to go red and it has to crack 377.91. If it does that, I'm in on puts with a max risk of 379.50. I'm well aware there's a gap to fill on the SPY at 388. And if it breaks above 379.50, turns it into support, hits 380, I'm well aware that gap could fill within 2 days from that happening. So I'm not going to bag hold my losses. We are at the key high end of the channel, and if it reacts as a resistance and breaks down, I will take my shot of playing the puts. If it doesn't, it's going to react bullish and it's going to try to explode up to fill the gap within 2 days. That's my thoughts. That's my analysis. That is how to trade the best setups at the best prices. I'm telling you guys, Fridays tend to be my best trading days. Heading into, in terms of ending the week, I tend to end the week very, very strong. If you do want to trade live with us tomorrow at market open, watch me trade live at market open. It's going to be the first link down below in the description. You could watch me trade live on the spot, see my open positions, see my charts, hear the live commentary, ask me questions live on spot. You also get access to the chat room where you can network with other people within the chat moderators. You also get access to the video lesson library. Within the video lesson library, you will learn everything I've learned within the market throughout the past decade. You will learn how to trade the best setups at the best prices, the unique price action gap trading strategies that I've created, how to trade both ways, calls and put options, how to trade shares, how to trade stocks. You will also learn risk management, position sizing, and of course, psychology and mindset to trading. There's so much more included within Trader Society. As soon as you join, it's a one-time fee and it's a lifetime access to everything included. Everything is listed below. Click the first link. Everything is included and you will get instant access and one-time fee lifetime access. I'm looking forward to trading with you guys and finishing the week very, very strong tomorrow. Let's end the week on a phenomenal green note. I will see you guys in the next video.